Hi, welcome. This is a lesson on polynomial operations. We're going to focus on addition and subtraction. But first, we need to understand a little bit about what is a polynomial. A polynomial is an expression made up of algebraic terms. Let me give you a couple examples here. So a polynomial and not a polynomial. So polynomial, an expression made up of algebraic terms. Variables are only raised to positive integer exponents. So we might have like 3y squared. That's a polynomial. Not a polynomial would be 3y to the negative 3. The negative exponent makes it not a polynomial. There's also no variables in the denominator of a term. So another example that's not a polynomial, let's say I had 7x over y. This is not a polynomial because of that y in the denominator. So a term is a constant, a variable, or a product of the two. Like, for example, 2x, 5x, which is 5 times x, and 10x squared, or 10 times x squared. A polynomial can have different sizes. A monomial is one term, for example, like 3x. A binomial has two terms, x plus 5. So you'll want to notice that the plus separates the term. So x is one term, 5 is the other term. Another thing that can separate the terms is subtract. So 2x squared minus 3x plus 10 is 3 terms. And that is called a trinomial. Binomial, 2 terms. Trinomial, 3 terms. And a monomial is a single term, just one term. All right, so standard form is in decreasing, let's write that. In decreasing order by exponents. The degree of a polynomial is the highest exponent. So the degree of this polynomial, each term has a degree. The first term, degree 2, degree, see x has an imaginary little 1 written by it, so it's degree 1. And then 10 doesn't have a variable also, it's degree 0. And the degree of this polynomial is degree 2 because of that first term, it's degree 2. The leading coefficient when in standard form, it's the first number. And then the leading term, the term in front. To the left. The term in front, again, when in standard form. The constant term is the term with no variable. So let's look at some examples here. Negative 5 plus x to the fourth. Standard form, that would be x to the fourth minus 5. Degree, 4, because of the 4 on the x. Type, it's got two terms, which makes this a binomial. The leading coefficient, now the leading coefficient is the number that comes in front. There's no number there. We remember that has an imaginary layer 1. It's not imaginary, but an invisible 1 in front of the x to the fourth, and so the leading coefficient is 1. And the constant, there's a term with no variable, and that would be negative 5. All right, let's get another one. 4x minus x to the negative 3. All right. I'm going to say, hey, this is not a polynomial. So it's because of that negative exponent. That's not a polynomial, so we're just going to skip that. And then I've got 2x. 2x, standard form. It's already in standard form. There's just one term, 2x. Degree is degree 1 because, again, the invisible 1 that's written as the exponent there. Type, it is a monomial. And the leading coefficient, 2. The constant does not apply. There's no constant. Okay, next one. Negative 20x minus 2x squared plus 15. So we're going to put this in standard form. That's minus 2x squared minus 20x plus 15. Degree is degree 2. It's degree 2. It's degree 2 because of this 2 right there. That's what causes the degree is the exponent on the leading term. Type, there's 1, 2, 3 terms, so this is a trinomial. And the leading coefficient, negative 2, and the constant, 15. All right, we're going to talk about combining like terms. So like terms have the same letter part. So 3w plus 4w. Think about like if I had 3 watches plus 4 watches is a total of 7 watches, but you can only combine like terms. 2p is not a like term, so that stays the same. And then I've got finally minus w. But these two are like terms, 7w and minus w. If I have 7 watches and I lose a watch, I'm left with 6 watches. And then I've got minus 2p. And so that's what this looks like. You cannot combine it any further, so we stop. We got 5 minus 2b minus 10 minus 5b. I want to get rid of the parentheses. So you can think of this minus as, if you want, you can think of it as like a minus 1. And I can multiply that out using the distributive property. So I get 5 minus 2b minus 10 plus 5b. You got to distribute the negative to both terms inside the parentheses. So then I got 5 and minus 10. 5 minus 10 is negative 5. And I got negative 2b and plus 5b. And that would be plus 3b because they're different signs. So you subtract, and it takes the sign of the larger absolute value. So 5b is larger than negative 2b, so that's positive 3b. And those are no longer like terms, so I leave them as negative 5 plus 3b. All right, I'm going to stop there, and we'll start part 2 in another video, so I'll see you in the next video.